Hello my boys, good morning. Sadly I'm having a cold, so if my voice sounds weird or if you hear this, it's because I'm having a cold. Now that we got this out of the way, let's talk about my Shrapnel Ballista build and how you can do tier 17 maps on this, because I got asked multiple times how come that I'm running tier 17 maps. As I explained, this is a very strong build. If you don't know already, this is my main build in Path of Exile for more than 3 years now. You don't need a Mage Blood to do the Fear Guardian map farming. Santos no problem works on under 60 divines of budget. I even have in the build guide here more about the build. It has timestamps. I even explained here how to craft your items cheaper, no problem. But if you want to do this new tier 17 maps, which by the way, so it's nowhere near a tier 16 map, a tier 17 map, yeah? That's why for this build you need to have a lot of defenses, yeah? Damage wise we have no problem. And enough talking already, I got bored myself, you know, I hear myself talking, I got bored, you know. So here we have the Mage Blood, make sure it's 4 flask. Make sure you have that implicit with strength with perfect roll, so ideally you want to buy it uncorrupted, because we are a strength stacker. No, we want strength as a matter of fact. And here for the flask you will buy a Topaz flask, a Sapphire flask, a Ruby flask, yeah? And make sure that for the explicits, it doesn't matter on which one you have, but you want to have increased critical strike chance during an effect. This will help with the damage and will get bump up because of this increased effect. You get more than 100. Then you want 70% attack speed during effect, doesn't matter where you put it, but you need it. And you want movement speed during effect. The reason for this is you are not using a Quicksilver flask, but we want to move fast, you know. That's why you need to take it somewhere. Here we're using a Quartz flask. With an increased evasion rating during effect. Because I explained I love dodge. Yeah, dodge chance is great. We also have block chance. Here, dodge chance, yeah, this will save your ass in multiple scenarios. Especially if you notice, all these years I play with negative chaos resistance. I explained so many times, maybe you're a Tune channel visitor. You have a lot of regeneration, we barely get hit. So even if you'll be fine. You trust PoE guy, you'll be fine. So here we have permanent phasing. You also have some spell suppression that gets bumped up by the increased effect. This allows us in the skill tree to drop some suppression nodes, which is great. But here is the tech that I change further. So here you want to put a Perandus Pact with +2 attributes, and here an Unnatural Instinct. I will provide the POB in the description of the video so you can copy it easier. Yeah, so this will help you two ways. Will give you a lot of strength for our strength stacking and will help with the intelligence problem. As you know, my Hierophant is very stupid here when it's strength stacking and it needs a lot of intelligence, yeah? That's why if you use this Perandus Pact Jewel, it will solve you your intelligence problems. You no longer need to take it on the ring, yeah? Because otherwise you will need to take intelligence on the rings, which can be a pain for some builds, you know? And here it's not mandatory, you can use an Impossible Escape with Imbalanced Guard. So to raise up your maximum resistances even more, 3%. Again, this is not mandatory. If you don't want it, don't buy it. You can take a normal rare jewel with increased life, some flat strength, totem damage, some good stuff, you know. Okay, my boys, let's see what else we have. Okay, so here we have Awakened Aronova and here we have Returning Projectiles. This is great for map clearing. It will clear the maps very, very fast. This is good for very hard bosses like Uber mode, Pinnacle bosses. So for tier 17 maps, yeah, even for some Uber mode bosses, I suggest you swap to Awakened Aronova. It's very easy to swap. So for normal monsters, use Returning Projectiles, and for the boss, you will swap with Awakened Aronova. Very easy to swap. So for the monsters, I will use Returning Projectiles, and when I reach the final boss arena, I will swap to Aronova. You know, I hate gem swapping, but I will admit it, Awakened Aronova level 5 is slightly better DPS than the Returning Projectiles. Yeah, but for map clearing feels like shit, because it will shoot the projectiles in the air, then they have to land. It will make the clearing take much more longer, which I hate it. But for the single target bosses, it's great. Now I need to repeat something here, I need to tell you. If you're using Aronova, you can drop this one, Pierce to additional targets, you know. But if you're gem swapping, you will need it. What I'm gonna do here, let me check my strength. I will just unspec any node here and I will take it, this Pierce. I still like Returning Projectiles, but this is slightly better DPS. That's all that is to it, but mostly for single target. Yeah, for map clearing feel like shit. to play. Okay, my boys, now let's open the map so you can see it, you know, you want to see it in action. So let's do just that, tier 17 maps. As you know, I'm farming a lot of Crimson Temples with my Magic Finder and I drop plenty of these maps. Here are the fragments. I even started farming the Uber bosses myself. I said, no more selling, so I will run all this myself. You know, we can even do one. Let's do some Uber mode bosses. You know, I can do a separate video on this because they are too easy. Let's do tier 17 maps. Yeah, it's better. The easiest tier 17 map is Fortress, in case you wanted. So this is the easiest. Yeah. You check the modifiers if you can do it. You will need to roll them a lot with Chaos Orb. This is the reality. So you roll them until you have good modifiers. This is why people die a lot, is because they don't roll it and they don't read the modifiers. For example, this one I can do it easy with my build. Tier 70 maps have a lot of item quantity. That's why you get much more stuff. You get those guaranteed fragments from the last boss up to 2, which is nice. Yeah, so tier 17 actually are superior to tier 16. But if you're using a Magic Finder and you're farming for Apothecary, 7 years of bad luck and tier 17 maps, you know, Crimson Temple is fine. Don't worry. Yeah. So you roll them. You start reading the modifiers if you can do them. For example, I don't want to see more monster life. It's personal preference. I don't want to see Union of Soils. I'm not sure about this one. Players minion have 50% less attack speed. Pretty sure my totems are not minions. That's why we're gonna do it. Okay. So make sure you put an Atlas strategy. So we're rushing for the final boss, but you can also take some content. In these maps, I like to do a strongbox strategy usually. Yeah, personal preference. You can do whatever strategy you want. I will take some ambush scarabs and this one for rarer varieties. Something like this, because it's pretty cheap. This is a cheap setup. And I'm gonna put here ambush on the map device and I'm gonna hit it. Yeah, why not? And let's see it. I want to see that modifier which says 50% reduced attack speed for minions. Because totems are not minions. I'm pretty sure it will not affect me. Okay, and you start clearing. Yeah, we're fine. We're fine. So returning projectiles is much more faster than Aronova for clearing pack sizes. So I'm clearing packs very fast. Also, notice how I move. You move in diagonal. So it's important how you move also. These lightning golems are very deadly, by the way, in case you don't know. They can kill you pretty fast. You can change them with all flames. So these lightning golems, people try to avoid them. They are very deadly. Okay, I want to find the boss. Okay, let's take this. Yeah. Okay, so these lightning golems will kick your ass, you know? Pretty fast. Make sure with altars, because this is tier 17, you need to read the altars modifiers. Again, this is harder than tier 16. But as you can see, the build does not have any problems. Okay, my boys, let's do the final boss. Let's find it. I have a video on how to make this tier 17 maps easier if you want to see it. I'll put it in the description of the video. So you can actually make this much more easier. I'm gonna check that later. Okay, here we have the boss. And we pay the boss a visit. I'm not using Aronova. I just want to show you the damage, you know? We're fine without it. Okay, dead. So in the next map I will use Aronova so you can see the difference. Okay. So you get guaranteed fragments like this, but some of them can be worth more than one divine orb. Let's do another map, same map, but this time I will use Aronova for the last boss. Yeah, so here it's important how you roll them. This is the important thing that you need to understand. So we need to roll them very carefully. Let me read this one. This is pretty easy, yeah. Man, this is our easy modifiers, we're gonna do them. Again, we use the same strongbox strategy, but this time I will remember to gem swap to Aronova. Aronova it's great for a single target, especially hard bosses. It will give you more damage. You will see the difference in a second. So for the monster packs inside your maps, you will use returning projectiles. When you reach the final boss, you gem swap to Aronova. Okay, let's take this. Oh! No, I will leave it in the video because shit will happen. You need to get used to it. You will die. This is... tier 17s are harder. Usually you need to move. So there's a lot of shit on the ground. So you need to be on the move all the time. So in that segment I stopped moving. So in tier 17 maps you need to move all the time. Okay, the build is great, don't worry. Oh, yeah. Those balls are killing me, man. These balls that follow me. Tier 17 maps have a lot of special modifiers that can whack your ass, you know? They whoop your ass! Yeah. This I will take. My left hand is close to the life flask. Okay, here is the boss. Look what I'm gonna do. Man, I need to avoid these balls, you know. These balls are pissing me off. I'm gonna put Aronova here. Okay, and now you will see more DPS for the boss. You summon your totems. You will notice it. You see, dead. So, much better single target DPS. That's why I wanted to do it again, to compare the damage. So, you can swap to this one, you see, no problem. Okay, my boys, now let's do a harder map, because this boss, it's a joke, it's very easy. Let's do a Sanctuary map, which is also cheaper. It's cheaper than Fortress. Because the final boss is harder, people are preferring Fortress. The boss dies harder, the boss dies easier, you know? But for a Sanctuary map, the boss is a pain for a lot of builds. But my build can do it pretty easy, which is a good thing, because this is cheaper. And we're gonna run it now, so you see it. We put ambush and we hit it. Again, you want to watch for those golems that shoot lightning attacks. They are very deadly. You can use an all flame, any all flame. You want to get rid of them. So remember of this trick. Yeah. Okay. Again, what I'm gonna do. For the packs, you want returning projectiles. The clear speed is way superior. Now you need to be careful. For example, these circles can kill me. Yeah, so you need to be careful. So these circles will one-shot you if you stay in them. You will get used to it. The more tier 70 maps you do, the better you'll feel. Now I need to hide here. They are not that hard, man. If you have a mage blood and spell suppression, good resistances, you'll be fine. And this build has insane single target damage, so has great defenses, but the single target damage is great for tier 17. I need to wait for this circle. I need to go back there to open it once more. You read the modifiers. If you want more quantity, you take it. Why not? Make sure that it's not something that breaks your build. So on tier 70 maps, you always read the altar modifiers, because you don't want to fail the map. Okay, let's go to the map boss. Map boss should be close to around here somewhere. Also, if you notice, I'm moving in diagonal. So I'm not going straight in the enemy, I'm moving in diagonals, so I get less hit. Oh! Look here. Okay, let's do the map boss. I will gem swap to Awakened Aronova. This is superior, you should always use this for very, very hard bosses. Normal map boss is no problem, you stick with returning projectiles. Look, insta phase, man, insta phase. Now you need to be careful here not to get hit. Dead. Okay, dead. Okay, this fragment is more than one divine orb, I remember it. Yeah. And you make your money back for the maps mostly from the fragments. And the good thing is that Sanctuary Maps drops this fragment pretty often. And not only that, it has one more fragment that drops often, and it's expensive. Let me show you. Okay, map boys, so we go to fragments, and it also drops these fragments pretty often. It's more than one divine orb also. Yeah, so you make good profit. You know, my boys, let's run one more map so you see it, you get the idea better. Okay, so we swap again to... Yeah, we swap it here. And let's take another tier 70 map. We're gonna take Sanctuary because it's harder. You just need to know the mechanics of the last boss and you'll be fine after you remember them. You read the modifiers. I don't like this one, 90% reduced effect of non-curse auras, that's why I will re-roll it. Yeah. This is easy, I can do this. Remember, you don't want to see more life, you don't want to see monsters have chance to block your attacks, you don't want to see monsters take less damage from critical strikes, you got the idea. Because we are a crit build. We select ambush here and we hit it. I can do a community post with all the modifiers that you should avoid. Because it's good to know them. Yeah, I will do that. Oi! This ball can one-shot you, I think. It's from the map modifier. Again, keep moving, don't stop. You gotta keep moving. Yeah. These balls will one-shot you, I'm pretty sure. So you need to have some map awareness, sadly. Yeah. We're gonna valor those gems after I finish the map. I explained yesterday how I like to make extra profit. With the Gemlink Soul Flames. I'm reading the altars because sometimes you can get Exalted Orb altars, Divine Orbs altars. That's why you need to read them. You see, I died to the meteor. So the meteors is from the map modifiers and it will one-shot you. So that's why you need map awareness and you know, to look what's happening on the screen. Look, this will one-shot me. These balls one-shot me. I did it for the simplification, man. Yeah. And they also detonate very fast. So you need to have good reactions. Or if you don't like the map modifier, don't roll it. So you need to move all times. Look, I see the balls, but I move. Okay. Look, I see the ball. It's following me. Okay, we're getting close to the boss arena. Look at the balls, man, are following me. Yeah. There is the boss arena, let's do the boss. Again, here you want to swap with Aronova, more damage, which is good, always good. Oi! Insta phase. Yeah. Ended. This, and this. You can continue the map after you do the boss, why not? I died to those balls, you know, they are pretty annoying. One shot always. Yeah, my boy, so you got the idea. You can do tier 17 easy. Just remember to roll your maps and that these tier 17 maps have very deadly special modifiers, which is a pain. So in this video you learned how to roll your flask here for maximum effectiveness. You learned about the Perandus pack jewel that you'll put it here. You learned about Awakened Aronova that will gem swap only for bosses, because this sucks for clearing, yeah? I hope this is useful. Go test it out, this is a very strong build, yeah? You can do the regular build version which doesn't use a mage blood, and you can still farm guardian maps, sanctums, the third, a lot of content. This is a very tanky build, my variation here, and you will love it. I don't play trash builds, as you already know. I hope you have a great weekend, because it's coming, and good luck.